Good afternoon. I told you this morning before the end of the day, we would have gotten a statement from the authorities on the accident yesterday, which should have happened. Within hours. But it's almost 24 hours after. But they say, better late than never. ASP Richmond Valentine.
The Commonwealth of Dominica Police Force is conducting investigation into a traffic collision which resulted in the death of a British national. The collision took place on the Imperial Road in the area of Antrim Valley about 1:30 p.m. on November 9th, 2016. The collision involved Toyota car registration number TL040 driven by 25-year-old Trevor Alfred of Marigot and Toyota bus registration number HE141 driven by 43-year-old Jeffrey Gregoire of Granby. The collision took place while the bus was moving in a westerly direction and the car was moving east. At the time of the collision, there were 10 cruise ship passengers and a tour guide on the bus, while the driver of the car was the only occupant. A total of 13 casualties were transported to the Accident and Emergency Department of the Princess Margaret Hospital by the fire and ambulance services. 10 of the casualties were non-nationals. 6 of the injured persons were admitted, while 6 were discharged with minor injuries. The vehicles involved in the collision were extensively damaged and are in police custody. A coroner's inquest will be convened into the circumstances surrounding the death. Investigation into the matter continues. The government of the Commonwealth of Dominica, and in particular, the Ministry of Tourism and the Commonwealth of Dominica Police Force, express condolences and best wishes to the family and friends of the deceased and to all those who sustained injuries as a result of the collision.
Thank you very much, ASP Richmond Valentine. Let's do this again.
The Commonwealth of Dominica Police Force is conducting investigation into a traffic collision which resulted in the death of a British national. The collision took place on the Imperial Road in the area of Antrim Valley about 1:30 p.m. on November 9th, 2016. The collision involved Toyota car registration number TL040 driven by 25-year-old Trevor Alfred of Marigot and Toyota bus registration number HE141 driven by 43-year-old Jeffrey Gregoire of Granby. The collision took place while the bus was moving in a westerly direction and the car was moving east. At the time of the collision, there were 10 cruise ship passengers and a tour guide on the bus, while the driver of the car was the only occupant. A total of 13 casualties were transported to the Accident and Emergency Department of the Princess Margaret Hospital by the fire and ambulance services. 10 of the casualties were non-nationals. 6 of the injured persons were admitted, while 6 were discharged with minor injuries. The vehicles involved in the collision were extensively damaged and are in police custody. A coroner's inquest will be convened into the circumstances surrounding the death. Investigation into the matter continues. The government of the Commonwealth of Dominica, and in particular, the Ministry of Tourism and the Commonwealth of Dominica Police Force, express condolences and best wishes to the family and friends of the deceased and to all those who sustained injuries as a result of the collision.
109 Carlisle John Baptist. Of course, you're one of the first persons who, asked for a statement to be released to the world. Carlisle, it's just about 105. The statement. Are you there?
Yes, Matt, I'm very much there.
This statement was released maybe about 10 minutes ago.
Matt, I didn't get the name. Did you give the name of the tourist who died?
No. Well, they could have done the same thing today, Carlisle. They could have given the same news that they given now yesterday. Without the name. Today would have been a good day to get the name. I'm sure by now the families are informed.
And of course, the whole world, the press from the whole world is calling. I mean, I've received several calls, and I specifically told them that I am from the Associated Press. I told that to the minister. And I up till now, what are they?
But yesterday, I could understand why the names would not have been released because the family, would have been had to be notified. But today, 24 hours later, that information should have been forthcoming.
Exactly.
I'm still waiting, Carlisle, because I think as the tourism minister, Mr. Tong, should have released a statement. As tourism minister, not wait for the police to give that information and extend their sympathies or concern on behalf of the tourism minister or the tourism division. I don't know what is really going on with the communication there.
I don't know, Matt, and I'm still lost because the information they give, it does not tell us who the individual that died. What is it? You have to release the name because by now it's almost 24 hours because the accident happened somewhere after 2 or thereabouts.
Yesterday, about 1:30. He did indicate that, but in terms of the names, if it was immediately, Carlisle, when you asked the question yesterday about who was involved, I could have understood that they were holding back. But 24 hours later, I don't know. What's the reason?
I did not even ask the names last night because all I asked was for them to release some sort of information, speaking to the people, etc., etc. That is all I asked.
Well, we'll see how soon that will be forthcoming. I'm sure the international press would want to know what is going on. And, the way the UK press operate, by now, they would have wanted to find out who the individual is at this time.
That is very correct, Matt.
What else is happening? I know you covered the courts this morning.
Yes, you may have heard the matter dealing with Marriott Warrington. Cara Shillingford did. She's become the first lawyer to do a matter whereby someone is going to the Caribbean Court of Justice, almost like a poor person, but that was taken back. But she made the application that she made today before the court is a first. And a little later, I will send you a clip from Cara, also a clip from Tony Astafan that I interviewed, Chris Murphy and myself, and also Tony is also prisoner, and etc. You will hear those comments, and maybe we'll deal with that tomorrow, God willing, because I probably can send that to you in about 5 minutes, Matt.
All right. Well, we'll be waiting.
Then when I do that, you will get a gist of what I'm saying. So as we speak, now sending you a voice clip of Cara Shillingford and of Tony Astafan, so you can. All
right, we'll share that with the public now.
Yes,
and that's coming up from the Court of Appeal.
Yes, from the Court of Appeal. Tony will explain, and Cara will further explain, and you will more or less get a feel of what transpired in the courts. Let me. Yes.
But tell me, Carlisle John Baptist, what else besides this Marriott Warrington matter is going on there?
Nothing else besides that. The others were mere appeals against magisterial appeals.
Okay.
And so all of them basically they were straightforward matters, and that was it. But nothing else basically as anything of significance. What I can tell you though is that the matter at hand though is whereby Ms. Shillingford is appealed to the CCJ, our final court of appeal, and she was asked to pay fees of $10,000. And she filed certain documents showing that she does not have what it takes. And Cara did certain submissions, and so the court reduced that to $1,000, Matt.
Wow.
$1,000. As I speak of you, the clips, Astafan, is already up, and so probably in the next minute you can refresh your inbox, and you will hear you'll play the submissions or the information
from both Tony Astafan and Cara Shillingford.
Yes, well, you can refresh your inbox, Matt. I've sent it to you so the listeners can get a feel of what transpired.
All right, Carla John Baptist. News coming in, we'll share that information with you in the public in a few minutes here. But news coming in from the DNO, a 51-year-old man is dead after he collapsed in Concord. The incident took place this morning. The cause of death is unknown at this time. The man is said to be originally from the Atkinson, Antrizal area. We will get more information for you and publish that as it becomes more available. Again, a 51-year-old man dead after he collapsed in Concord this morning. Well, it's happening so often these days. You even stop counting. People just falling and dying and people missing. What's really going on here? I'm laughing, but this is serious business. I have, in my adulthood, they say, I have never experienced or heard about this. People dying and, of course, missing so often. We're coming back right after this.
Nature Island Cruise 951 on Live 95. Every day, Monday to Friday, exploring the sights, sounds, happening talk on the blocks, healthy lifestyles, and culture of Dominica. Enjoy daily giveaways of valuable products and services from leading businesses on the Nature Island of the Caribbean. Stay locked and immerse yourself in the breathtaking views from above the undulating hills and valleys, and in the magnificent marine adventures beneath our Caribbean Sea. All this and more on Nature Island Cruise 951 on Live 95, only on the big station. Get a taste of the enchanting Creole and indigenous cuisine and lifestyles of the charming people of Dominica. Experience the dynamic rhythms of our culture, music, and entertainment, our vibrant, unique niche agribusiness products, our refreshing range of colorful flowers, and the fabulous foliage in our horticulture. Explore the prolific life-sustaining values of our natural foods, herbal teas, spices, and medicines. All this and more on Nature Island Cruise 951. Every day, Monday to Friday, on Live 95. Only on the big station. Only on Q95.
Right on cue. Right on cue. Right on cue. Right on cue.
The Commonwealth of Dominica Police Force is conducting investigation into a traffic collision which resulted in the death of a British national. The collision took place on the Imperial Road in the area of Antrim Valley about 1:30 p.m. on November 9, 2016. The collision involved Toyota car registration number TL040 driven by 25-year-old Trevor Alfred of Marigot and Toyota bus registration number HE141 driven by 43-year-old Jeffrey Gregoire of Granby. The collision took place while the bus was moving in a westerly direction and the car was moving east. At the time of the collision, there were 10 cruise ship passengers and a tour guide on the bus, while the driver of the car was the only occupant. A total of 13 casualties were transported to the Accident and Emergency Department of the Princess Margaret Hospital by the fire and ambulance services. 10 of the casualties were non-nationals. 6 of the injured persons were admitted, while 6 were discharged with minor injuries. The vehicles involved in the collision were extensively damaged and are in police custody. A coroner's inquest will be convened into the circumstances surrounding the death. Investigation into the matter continues. The government of the Commonwealth of Dominica, and in particular, the Ministry of Tourism and the Commonwealth of Dominica Police Force, express condolences and best wishes to the family and friends of the deceased and to all those who sustained injuries as a result of the collision.
Let's now listen to Tony Astafan and Senior Counsel Anthony Astafan and Attorney at Law Kyra Schillenfeld out of the High Court on this Marriott Warrington matter.
It was a very interesting day because the rules of the CCJ for leave to appeal to them are clearly different to that of that existed under the Privy Council. And once an applicant who has been granted leave to appeal with conditions applies to the court before the time expires for compliance with the court, they can have the conditions varied in the case of circumstances which makes it more difficult for them to pay. Marriott Warrington clearly set out facts in her affidavit which were unchallenged. And I did not think it was right to object to them. And what I did, as you heard, was to, seeing it came up for the first time, provide assistance to the Court of Appeal as to how far they could go without objecting to the application. And I think what happened today, the Court of Appeal, I think, is quite happy with it, as should Miss Marriott Warrington.
No. So it means that we are now on course to get to Trinidad to the...
So the next time we'll discuss this case will be in the arrival area in Trinidad, at the hotel lobby, and court and only on the way back home.
But that's precedent, right? That's precedent for that.
I think it's the first time. What happened today?
Yes.
I think it's the first time this has happened in the OECS jurisdiction, to my knowledge, going to the CCJ. First time.
How confident are you going to on this matter, going to CCJ on this matter?
But I'm always confident. Kala will tell you. When Kala used to come home by me and discuss cases, he will tell you I was always confident.
I think there's some great merit, you think, for DBS going to this.
I just think it needs to be dealt. I'm very confident. I just think it needs to be dealt with at the highest level. So at the end of the day, both DBS and Ms. Warrington can feel satisfied that due process has gone to the end. That's basically my position.
But were you surprised at the submissions of Ms. Schillenfeld? Made?
I think Ms. Schillenfeld, if she's not led astray by politicians, has a great future ahead of her as a lawyer. I think she has a great potential.
Marriott Warrington, the applicant before the court today, filed an application to have the conditions which were imposed by the Court of Appeal in July varied, so that she can proceed with prosecuting her appeal before the Caribbean Court of Justice. The Court of Appeal heard the application and granted the application. So our application today was successful. The conditions for prosecuting the appeal were varied.
How confident were you? Because it appears that this is the first time something like that has ever happened.
Yes, it was the first time that such an application was heard by the Court of Appeal, obviously because this is the first case from Dominica which will be going before the Caribbean Court of Justice. However, I did the necessary research, and the case that we relied on clearly indicated that the Court of Appeal has jurisdiction to vary conditions for prosecuting the appeal. And counsel representing the respondent, that is DBS Senior Counsel Mr. Astafan, agreed that the court had jurisdiction to vary those conditions.
Finally, on what basis have you decided to take this matter to the CCJ?
On several grounds. We have several grounds of appeal, and we will be filing our notice of appeal very shortly, indicating our grounds. First, the main ground being that the the issue of whether the Prime Minister had given his advice to the board of directors of DBS whether to continue employing Ms. Warrington. That is an issue which we're asking the CCJ to review.
Mr. Astafan was very pleased with your presentation, and he did say that once you are not politicized by the politician, you are far to go. How do you respond to that?
Well, Mr. Astafan has always been very kind and gracious. I do not know what he's referring to as to being politicized by any politician. I can tell you that I have always been independent, and that as a lawyer, it is my duty to represent my client to the best of my ability, regardless of whatever their political views may be.
So you will be the one doing the matter in Trinidad, or you have representative? I don't know how this goes.
Yes, I represent Ms. Warrington, so I will be prosecuting the appeal in Trinidad.
Not in Dominica, because I know the Court of Appeal sometimes travels. The CCJ, sorry.
Well, as to the precise location, that has not been confirmed, but most probably it will be before the Caribbean Court of Justice in Trinidad.
And as you said, you're confident that you will be able to handle this matter properly, so to speak?
Most certainly, yes.
All the best.
Thank you.
Congratulations to Ms. Kara Schillenfeld there. This appeal to the CCJ. 126, good afternoon, hello.
Interesting, good afternoon, Matt. It is okay for Tony Astafan to mislead politicians, but not okay for politicians to mislead Kara. Anyway, that's another issue. You there with me, sir?
I'm right here.
I was listening to the thing on a bus there, and I was saying something you said about 5 minutes after I said it. I said, look at that, they're giving the news to them, not disclosing the name of the victim. What happened? They could not have released the report yesterday. So I was telling the bus drivers the same thing. They want to control the media, tell them what to say, what not to say, when and how to say it. Can you imagine Carlisle calling the news editor and he's saying day? I don't know if it's the night. He must be referring to the night. It's not the day. They tell me not to report on it. So it's everything. They have to get involved. I mean, it's not something that is going to land the radio station or the news editor in any legal wrangling, Matt. It's just people telling you what to say, how to say it, when and when not to say it. That is just sickening, Matt. And I mean, come on. What more can we say and what more can we expect in that blessed land of ours, no, Matt? Matt, can you please update me? Have a blessed day, bro.
I really don't know what's going on, blessings. I can't tell you. It's 127. I guess, I'm saying it's a lesson for the people in tourism, and maybe very shortly they should bring the teams together so we could know how to, or they could know how to deal with situations like this. But a big boo-boo there on your part. Hello, talk to me. All right. 449-309-596 and 97. Let's listen again to that statement, okay?
The Commonwealth of Dominica Police Force is conducting investigation into a traffic collision which resulted in the death of a British national. The collision took place on the Imperial Road in the area of Antrim Valley about 1:30 p.m. on November 9, 2016. The collision involved Toyota car registration number TL040 driven by 25-year-old Trevor Alfred of Marigot and Toyota bus registration number HE141 driven by 43-year-old Jeffrey Gregoire of Granby. The collision took place while the bus was moving in a westerly direction and the car was moving east. At the time of the collision, there were 10 cruise ship passengers and a tour guide on the bus, while the driver of the car was the only occupant. A total of 13 casualties were transported to the Accident and Emergency Department of the Princess Margaret Hospital by the fire and ambulance services. 10 of the casualties were non-nationals. 6 of the injured persons were admitted, while 6 were discharged with minor injuries. The vehicles involved in the collision were extensively damaged and are in police custody. A coroner's inquest will be convened into the circumstances surrounding the death. Investigation into the matter continues. The government of the Commonwealth of Dominica, and in particular, the Ministry of Tourism and the Commonwealth of Dominica Police Force, express condolences and best wishes to the family and friends of the deceased and to all those who sustained injuries as a result of the collision.
All right, thank you. A lot of people were commenting on the words best wishes to the family and friends. Some people think those were not the words to have been used on that occasion. Here's the press release from the ship, the cruise ship. A British passenger has died and 9 others have been injured in a bus crash on a P&O cruiser's holiday. They were on a shore excursion on the Caribbean island of Dominica on Wednesday when the tour bus was involved in a collision. The P&O ship Azura sailed from Southampton on the 20th day of October with more than 3,000 passengers on board. P&O has confirmed that all of those injured are British and have been treated at a local hospital. In a statement, the firm said P&O Cruises regrets to confirm that a bus operated by a shore excursion provider was involved in a collision in Dominica Wednesday lunchtime. The bus was carrying 12 passengers, including 10 guests from Azura. The cause of the accident is not yet known. The company said the majority of those injured had been discharged from the hospital. Senior Vice President Paul Ludlow said, "Our thoughts and prayers go out to everyone touched by this tragic event. Our employees and crew are working to do everything we can to extend support and assistance to those affected and their loved ones." The Foreign Office confirmed that the deceased person and 9 injured bus passengers were all British nationals. It said our staff are providing support and we will remain in close contact with P&O Cruises and the local authorities. You see the difference in the press release? I hope the authorities, including the tourism office, are taking note. That's how a professional release is written after a disaster like this. Just hope that you guys are taking note. Take note. Thank you. Mr. Tourism Minister, I think a similar release should come from your ministry. And these are constructive criticisms. It's not about doing anything to criticize or criticizing's sake. It's our industry. And as you've always said, it's everybody's business. Lessons learned, huh? 135, talk to me.
Lollipop, what's up, man?
How you doing, my brother?
Yeah, man. I think the Williams were wrong, man. The police, with the PR or the police, it was wrong. Somebody Williams, it wasn't.
Well, I gave, as you saw, I played the release from the police, and I read you the release from the company involved.
Yeah, somebody Williams wasn't right.
Wow. In that release there from a cruise ship, they did not give every detail, but you felt comforted. We're taking a phone call. Hello.
Hey, Matt.
I'm here.
I think a press release should be held by the Ministry of Tourism.
Right. I'm saying that too.
Yeah, they should. It's an obligation. They're not for the police people alone. It's an obligation by them. But at another point, Matt, we must scrutinize our drivers, and we must talk to our drivers how they must drive properly. This is special cargo. And the industry, last year we had an accident last year, you know.
Yeah, right there in Trafalgar, yeah.
Yeah, so, and we have another one. The tourism season not even started. We have another one. So in other words, now we have to talk to our drivers to drive. Matt, have you noticed that many people who drive the tourism, they're not very careful? They talk while they drive. They show people signs. I see it already. They show people signs and not paying attention to what's going on. So I believe myself, you have to get qualified drivers to drive, and people must be more careful when they drive in commodities as well as local. Do you know that people don't care about when they're driving people on the higher?
No, but I'm wondering. It's not like I'm criticizing anybody, caller, but I mean, didn't you see the impact? I mean, driving on a road like this.
But what I'm trying to say is, Matt,
is this a highway or something?
If you look, you know the road at Antrim.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
There is no highway in Antrim. There are a lot of corners in Antrim, and how so fast a vehicle could be going that a collision like this could cause that problem in Antrim? Mm-hmm. Have you mapped it out?
Yeah, that's what I'm asking that question. I mean, where could you have been going there?
It has to be something foolish that happened at Antrim, because at Antrim there's no highway. If you're going up, it's slower. You're coming down, you have to take the turns.
Yes.
Many turns is slower. So I don't understand what is going on with that thing, that accident happened at Antrim, for it's so devastating. I believe drivers in Dominica on a whole, they doesn't use their common sense. They're not driving properly, and they don't have rules and regulations when they're driving. I see it all the time, Matt, in Roseau, all over the place, man. There are certain 10,000 buses when I was living out district.
Mm-hmm.
And this guy used to be so reckless. Matt, I said, man, put me down, man. I said, man, look, if you're not driving properly, put me down. You understand?
And you have a right to say this.
Yeah, and people watching at you, oh man, a big man like you coward. You understand? I say, what coward it up? Why you have precious cargo, you talking about coward? What nonsense you talking? You have people on the bus that have families, that have children, that have things to look after, and you're just driving recklessly, bending corners without paying attention. I mean, it's time that they retrain drivers in Dominica. But in America, when you don't drive properly, they put you to defensive driving again, you know.
Yep.
Yeah, so in Dominica, drivers do not, fellas, I remember under the cliff, Matt, not too long.
No, but I said certain buses I've told my children, don't hop.
I remember on the cliff, I was driving, and under the cliff, a guy coming, a vehicle coming towards me, and I going up to Roseau. A guy coming, overtaking. Matt, you know, to save that guy, what I had to do?
Mm-hmm.
I had to pull back myself to save him. Do you know the person that did that, who he was?
I have no idea.
He was a priest.
Uh-huh.
A priest that did that. When I meet him in tongue, I tell him, man, after all, man, you don't do that. You almost kill yourself. I have to save you. He tell me, thank you very much. But I say, but a man like you should know better than that. You understand what I'm telling you? So in other words, common sense, that common sense in Dominica is not common. And people are doing what they want, when they want. Fellas overtaking the next side, you overtaking on that side. And they don't care about people's lives. And that's the problem. That people are driving those tourist people, they must select those people and go for a defensive class. And then do better than that.
Well, I want to agree with you. You know, there's certain drivers that drive tourists. I don't know. I don't know how they were certified, but I think we have to go back to the drawing board with certain of these drivers. I can tell you that. I drove tourists before, and wow. That's all I can say at this time. Let's be very, very, very careful. This is a fragile industry. Some people are not going to like me for saying that, but you know me. I speak my mind. 141. It's 141. Hello.
Huh?
Yes.
Matter for concern, huh?
Yes, it is of grave concern to me.
Oh, yes, great concern. But you know, I want to say that I'm not happy at all with the attitude of the Minister for Tourism up to now.
You don't like his attitude?
No, well, I mean his silence.
Oh, his silence. Oh.
Silence, yes. And you see, Matt, he should have spearheaded that statement. There should have been a joint statement by the police and the Ministry of Tourism, jointly, you know. And I'm assuming that he's preparing something, but that should have been done long ago, as I said, jointly with the police, you know, and that would have just flourished everything.
I don't think that the police should be speaking on behalf of the tourism division or ministry.
No, the police should not be doing that.
I think they should report on the accident and then, leave it there. If they want to apologize or give sympathies for themselves, fine. But I think they should be speaking on their own behalf, the Ministry of Tourism.
Yes, you know, and jointly with the police and to really, because I mean, somebody died, somebody has died, you know. And regarding the accident in itself, Matt, our roads are stressed in Dominica. Matt, if you look at the apron of our roads, Matt, they are breaking up, they are sinking. And when Garakan was doing that road, that was the opportune time for them to have taken the road more to the bank and open that road so that the stressed sides of those roads, you know, vehicles would not be driving there. And with regards to the buses that are driving those passengers, the Ministry of Tourism should the driver should not be the ones showing and indicating sites to the passengers. There should be a tour guide.
A tour guide. Well, in this case, there was a tour guide. Okay, In this case, there was a tour guide, and the bus was actually, from what I gather, was but the police are doing their investigations. There are a few things that you will eventually find out. 144, and I'll leave the investigation, the police do their work, but there are some things that if you find out, you might find frightening. 144.
I tell you, I used to be at the Emerald Pool as a vendor.
Right.
And Matt, there are guys who just love racing because they figure they can do 2 free trips for the day. That's one crazy thing. And there are some crazy tourists. They're there at the Emerald Pool drinking with the driver. I used to see them and sometimes call them on the side. I'm a kind of bold person. I'm
happy you're saying that, Blessings. I'm happy that you're pointing that out so the authorities can take note.
And the tourists themselves, I said, but it's all you carry in. I will not call them, but I'll call the driver. I'll say, bro, I'm watching you down there, and you have a couple already, and you have to drive those tourists, boss. So take it easy. Please don't curse me anything. In a very decent and polite way, I would approach them and tell them that. So some of those guys want to make 2 free trips. They hustle with those tourists. Room, Emerald Pool. Room, back down. Boom, they get us up to Trafalgar. The boy, them man must be careful with that. And Matt, something in closing. Matt, them kind of sudden death these days. Matt, what is happening? Those sudden disappearances and no recovery, no finding nobody. What's happening?
You don't think it could be a mere coincidence, Blessings?
With the way people are just dropping like flies, Matt? No, it has to do with maybe our way of eating. It seems like everywhere eating too much junk and we're just falling down boop and die, Matt.
Yes, some man just died there today.
That's what I hear you. I hear you saying that. I said, again, 51 years? That's a child. The man just born. Matt, I'm 51. Tomorrow I might get 52. But let me say something. You hear about the guy serving pie, they meet in a shallow grave?
I heard that too. Police reported that earlier this week, yes? 2 days ago.
But 70,000 people, and every day like that, if somebody do fall and die, somebody disappear, or somebody get murdered. Come on, Dominicans, let us wake up now and let us put all our little foolishness aside and wake up and let us try to, Anyway, Matt, thanks and take care of yourself, bro. Blessing.
All right, some people might ask, but is Blessings prepared to put everything aside?
You there with me?
I'm here. But I know that question is coming to you,
No, when I say, I'm glad you usually, I love people to engage me. Make a little interjection, a little interaction and all of that. Matt, when I say put everything aside, meaning all our desires, all our urges, and our stimulations or whatever. When I say put it, you can't put things that are meaningful to your life. You can't put life away or put it aside. Yeah, we deal with our politics and the issues and all of that, but what about us, Matt? That's what I'm saying, What about you? Yeah, it's okay to come on the radio every morning and entertain us and all of that. But, Matt, you count. You have to take you into account. That's what I'm saying. So, forget about the talk show and everything because I did what I had to do for the day. Let me go and exercise. Carl, come and get me, dragging me by my bootstring according to Angelo. But I have to go because to be healthy because tomorrow morning I have to be there. That's what I'm saying. Put all the games aside and do what you have to do to keep yourself alive.
I'll tell you, listen to me, Blessing, stay on the line because I engaged you on this because somebody was actually talking to me about you in a WhatsApp message. So let me share with you that conversation. I'll start from the top. Maybe it began yesterday. Because I was asking people to come together, forget the politics and do like the Americans. After the politics is over, this case seemed to be a different case with what is happening with Donald Trump. So when people try to come together, or you lynch them, that's what the person was saying on the WhatsApp message. So I responded. I said, all you? He said, okay, all you facilitate their lynching. He's still on my case there, I imagine. So I telling him, well, give me an example of this lynching that you're talking about, and why is Blessings? He's asking why is Blessings an authority on everything. So I said, Blessings has his opinion. You can agree to disagree with Blessings. You don't have to agree. That's just a little chit chat. Back and forth. I say he may be, the person responded then, he may be an authority on certain things, but not everything. As far as you know, Has he rescued anyone? I don't understand where this one is going, or undergone any training in mass casualty management or incident command system. Matt, you know it is easier to stay home on the side of the road and criticize something, but when you are put in the position to execute your performance, it's worse. Is he an expert political commentator? Let him stick to that, or if he is, and allow issues which are beyond him to be dealt with by people who have the competence. Are you still there, Blessings?
Yes, my brother. I have.
So I'm talking on your behalf there.
Yes. Thank you. But Matt, I have said several times I have no authority on anything.
Mm-hmm.
I have said it several times. According to it's just my opinion, from my point of view, from my perspective.
It's just your opinion.
Yes, my opinion. So if you think I am talking with an authority, that may be so, but I have no authority on anything, my brother. And God bless you. I love you still. Take care.
Yes, I keep trying to tell you guys, there's a difference between an opinion and a fact. It doesn't mean if Blessings talk about something, he's the expert on that, and he may be wrong, but he has an opinion. Hello, talk to me.
Master, I hear you saying you're a bit baffled by some of the people who get certified to carry tourists.
Yes, some people, and I'm telling you that I know that is done under the table for some people.
Well, a lot of things in Dominica now is by affiliation. That's the only criteria, affiliation. So don't be surprised. It's not an experience, knowledge, competence. A lot of things by affiliation. You know, and then another thing, Matt, there is a need for our drivers, whether those driving tourists, non-tourists, individual vehicles. Matt, there is a need for drivers on a whole in Dominica to exercise more caution. Matt, I'm seeing a lot of madness on the road, you know. I was working right next to the highway in Fokole. And there's you can see a lot of madness going on the road. Some people, they always in a hurry. They overtake anywhere, anyhow, in a hurry to go where, I don't know, at the risk of maybe their own self getting injured or killed. People need to exercise a little more common sense in driving and not just turning steering wheel and changing gears and what have you, Matt. There is need for a lot to be done, Matt, in that area. And then even though you're not an expert in mass casualty, Matt, we're watching TV, we're seeing how the people just come and carry out their operation. We don't see, you know, some people, they will not say anything. And then they have a problem with people who call in. Everybody sees things differently from their perspective. That doesn't mean the person saying they are an authority. Some of them, they keep quiet, they don't say anything. But they have a problem when people speak their mind. I don't understand it. Call and share your point of view too. You know, it's when they do not like your point of view, they have all these things to come up with about if you're an authority and this and that and that. Matt, there's a lot of work to be done.
A lot of work. We all have to come together. This is our country.
Yes.
Yes. Thank you very much. It's 1:52. Hello.
Yes, hello. Good afternoon to you, Matt Pelty, and how are you?
Good afternoon to you, ma'am. Yes.
I am aware that there was a tour guide. They had just left my area heading down to town.
Mm-hmm.
There was a tour guide.
That's what I told the person there was, yes.
And I know the tour guide personally, but I'll not mention no name until further notice. But there was a tour guide on that special tour. Okay?
Okay.
They had just left my area heading down for town. All right?
And I know the ministry, the tourism division is working really hard on this one to ensure that every bus that leaves the port, you know, on a tour, there is a tour guide on board. Hello, talk to me.
Yes, Mr. Mark.
Yes.
Mr. Mark, when I hear Mr. Tong, the minister, said we're ready, I wonder if he's sitting down in the office by his table and only thinking it's like that people getting ready. Mr. Mark, I tell them about when you are driving to reach out that the road is comfortable, wonderful, great. But Mr. Mark, when you have to go down to the church A section, when you swing on your left to see some hole, Mr. Mark, you know, it's a shame That is not even to say at least a 2-week work holes and dirty. And I was ashamed when I see tourists, and you mean to tell me 6 months you to little road, Tony, a little portion to keep that intact. If you get jammed there sometimes, is in the drain you going, and you saying you ready. When look, I hear Mr. Angela was saying about that portion of road should condemn it, not proper to drive tourists. And the minister saying we're ready. He have a tongue. Tell him to explain to people better than that. He's not yet ready.
All right, caller. Thank you very much, Mr. McLaw there in Loda. Hello, good afternoon to you, sir. Hi.
Yes, my brother.
How you doing, my brother?
Yeah, man. The drivers and them need a serious driving service, man. They're taking things for granted. I'm a professional driver, as you know, overseas. And you know, my brother, the scrutiny we go through.
Yep.
Sometimes our job will come and just call us randomly and take a drug test. You know what I'm saying? And if we fail that, that's our job. If we in any 3 accidents,
I don't know what happened to your telephone there, but yes, they have to take this seriously. And the issue of a random drug test, you know, we should think about that. We should think about it. I'm not saying that's what happened in this case, but we have to take this seriously if we really want this tourism industry. I'm hoping, Mr. Minister, that you're listening and we can have a conversation sometime about some of these issues. Hello.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, yes.
Not listening to all the comments that people making, only comments about blessings. Yesterday I realized Mr. John Baptist mentioned in trying to get information from the tourism minister. The tourism minister said he had a consultant and he had to engage his consultant first. You should ask the question. I think I know who the consultant is. Is the consultant a professional? Does he have a degree? Does he have anything to be an authority like that?
From what I gather, based on what Carlisle said to me this morning, I suspect that person, is not even in Dominica. He's in somewhere in Europe. He is a tourism consultant in that area.
No, there's a local person.
No, I don't think that person is local, because he did say the person has my surname or my last name. So I think I know who he was talking about.
But the minister have another consultant on the ground trying about 12,000.
Well, I don't know. Carlisle did say that the minister mentioned, the person involved who has my last name, and I know who that person is as it relates to a tourism consultant. But that person is not in Dominica. So maybe he was looking for some professional opinion from that person before he gave his opinion. But it is already hitting the British newspapers. Less than 24 hours there. And that's just what I'm talking about. News, Mr. Minister, the police in Dominica. It does not wait. News is now. And of course the press in the United Kingdom, in America, would not listen to the nonsense I've been hearing about for the past few hours. It's out there. And there's no statement just yet from our Ministry of Tourism. Are we really serious about tourism? Are we? A statement should have been forthcoming that would have made the international news this morning. So unless you knew, or you would know what are our authorities saying. Hello, talk to me here.
I'm glad you put the caller when you say you don't like Robbie Tongue attitude. I don't think you can talk about Robbie Tongue and his attitude. You may not like the people who he is affiliated with, Matt, and the way things run around him. But what can you say about Robbie and his attitude? I'm glad you really pull up the call and say, His attitude, no.
And I warned these people since morning that already if you go to Facebook, the tourists are commenting. The tourists are already talking.
My God.
I warned them. I warned them. These people were right here. They saw what happened. See? 1:59. We'll be talking again tomorrow. Blessings. Thank you very much. Somebody just sent me a link on Facebook with the comments of these tourists. We should avoid this bad press. I've been doing this close to a little over 25 years. If I don't know now, I don't think I'll ever know again. Let's talk again tomorrow. I expected this feedback. And there's nothing from the authorities to buffer it. They waited 24 hours later. Diggy Salawa is next. Let me take a quick comment before I go to the Diggy Salawa. Yeah, talk to me quickly. I'm sorry, you missed it.